People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news, and people, yes, you've guessed it, Kevin Smith once again. He has been dominating social media for the better part of a week and a half, ever since that fateful day at the Pathway Ministries in Montego Bay, where it is said that at least 3 persons got hurt, at least 2 of them lost their life. Could be 3, it is conflicting reports. However, people, what we do know is that this man, the culprit in all of this, Mr. Kevin Smith, he is gone. And people, I said that I was going to be patient and wait until the 3rd day, because persons were saying that he was all powerful, he was omnipotent, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. So therefore, I waited patiently for the 3rd day to pass and see if he would rise again like the phoenix. However, people, it seems as if this man is gone, done and dusted, finito. He is out of here. However, people, the question that I have to ask is this. How is it that a man that most of these persons just met in a couple of years, some people, he has been at this ministry for in excess of 10 years, a decade, 2011, don't quote me, however. However, the question that I have to ask is that, how is it that you put this much faith, and when I say you, I mean the sheeples, the fourfold people that actually believe in this man because of all his bull crap, and people don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued. This man was very charming, he has charisma, so therefore persons are drawn to that, especially women, especially vulnerable, gullible women. So people, the question that I am asking is this: how is it that you meet somebody for a couple of years, whatever the case is, and you put that much trust in them? That person convinced you that much that, listen, whatever I say is the gospel, even if it makes no sorts of sense, even if it is out of all sorts of rational. And people, remember, we live in an information age where you can Google most things. We live in an age where there is scientific evidence. There is proof of if something is going to happen, as in if you live in some sort of tsunami era, as in if you live on some sort of earthquake fault era, fault line. You can know, you can get prediction. It is not 100% proof. So people, the point that I am trying to make is this. How is it that this man was able to go on social media, made a post and said that persons are supposed to show up at this Pathway Ministry in Montego Bay because there's going to be some sort of tsunami, and everybody that is locked out of the pathway, the ark, they will meet their demise, and persons actually pack up their stuff, jump in a them car, gather them, pick them wife, them husband, whatever the case is, and went to the ministry. And of course, because he is one that believes in tardiness, whoever was late, they were locked out, and they were knocking on the door, knocking on the window, wanting to go in, so they did not lose their life. However, people, what is even more important in all of this is that this man, he had an agenda, and money was the motive. He had money on his mind and mind on the money. And most of the money is people insurance policy. He actually convinced at least 2 cases in that we know about. We are speaking about that 39-year-old lady that worked at ATL. She was KILLED, then bust for her throat. And then a next 26-year-old youth man. This 26-year-old man actually made Mr. Kevin Smith the trustee of his 3 insurance policies. One for himself, one for his 2 kids, so 2 kids and himself, 3 policies, which paid $1 million each. Now people, if that is not trust, if that is not being convinced by somebody, I wonder what the conversation was like when he sat down with Mr. Smith, and Mr. Smith actually told him, listen, this is all you have to do, make me the trustee. So people, I spoke about this on my other channel. However, I want you to take a listen, take a look to exactly what he has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
You're a member of this Pathways International. Did you have any insurance policies at all?
Yes, I had 3 insurance policies. One for myself, one for my son and one for my daughter.
One for yourself, one for who?
My son and one for my daughter.
Yes.
Right. In which he had advised us to make him a trustee in the event that we die, and we know how it goes with family members when you pass away, that your family member will fight over the stuff and your children will not benefit. He had named a level of trust from each individual.
I'm getting a little bit of interference in the background, and I want to hear you clearly. Yes, go ahead.
He had gained the trust from all the members, and because of that, he was saying that he's a trustworthy person, so we should use him as our trustee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he became the trustee in the event that anything happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
All the supporting documents are there in which it was provided to the police for proof of this, what I've been saying to you.
Right. And when you say he, to whom are you making reference?
I'm making reference to Kevin Smith, which was the pastor of Party International.
So when did you make him a trustee on your 3 insurance policies?
I had the insurance from about 2017. He was trustee for that for myself. And in March of this year, he is a trustee for my daughter and my son.
This year, 2021, you made him the trustee?
That's correct.
So who is the beneficiary on the policies?
The beneficiary is my children.
Your children. And by trustee, what was supposed to be his role?
In the inspector that passed away, he was the one that gets the payout, which is over $1 million each. And he would get that money. So what he claims is that in the event that anything happens,
yes,
our children could get stuff.
Right.
Right, so they would benefit from the money because it would be given to him as the trustee because my children are under the age of 18.
You are in what age range?
I am 26 years old.
You're what?
26 years old.
26?
Uh-huh.
How did you come to trust him so much that you made him a trustee of your insurance policies in 2021?
All right. Everyone in the church trusts him. And a lot of person are taking a lot of support there. But before this man never showed us any evil or anything. What he did, he portrayed to be a righteous and man of God. And we trust him because what he sees, that's what he portrayed before. And it's not until the day, the 17th of October, that we realized who he truly was. And this is the first time at the highest level. Persons out there in life thinking they're injured.
Yes.
And other persons is in trauma at this moment.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing. A lot of persons say stuff, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
What he did, he knew that we love God, and he played on that, right? Because we are seeking God. We behave as if he was a righteous man, and that he was really not God.
Yes.
The good thing that I can say myself, I wasn't worshiping him, I was worshiping the true and living God.
Yes.
And I believe that is the reason why I am alive today.
Before I get to that, the supporting documents that were provided, who provided those supporting documents for the change of trustee into his name?
No, at the initial stage of doing it,
yeah.
He was placed as the trustee.
He was what?
Placed as the trustee.
He was placed as the trustee.
At the initial stage when it was being opened.
In 2017?
In 2017 and also in 2021.
So you placed him as trustee from then?
Right.
For somebody to be placed as trustee, do you require any documents like proof of identification of the trustee?
No, what they have you do, they just have you fill out the form when you're doing the insurance. If you're changing the trustee at a later date, that's when they would require for you to provide documents.
Yes. Yeah. And you'd been a member of this Pathways for how long now, Corey?
I've been a member since 2014.
14. I understand from what I heard from a young man about 18 who spoke to my colleague Kirk Wright, who said that you were stabbed in the back on the Sunday and then you were later shot.
That's correct.
Is there any part of it you can talk to me about? How did you get in the building? How did you get to the building that day and why?
It's the same story that's here. It's nothing different. It's the same story that's here. I really I don't want to go over it. I just want to stop talking about it. I just want all of this to just disappear.
Yes.
Right now. It just...
It's hard for you.
There are no nice children and state care and everything. It is too much. It's just too much for me.
Yeah.
It's person that betrayed their life.
Yeah.
Destroyed our lives, destroyed so many families.
Now, people, like I said, I spoke about this yesterday on my next channel, Jamaica Dancehall Source. The link is in the description of this video. Let's analyze this. Two persons. 39-year-old employee of Appliance Traders Limited. Mr. Smith, Kevin Smith, pastor, bishop, whatever you want to call him. He was either A, beneficiary, or B, the trustee. So the question I have to ask is this. This lady, she did not have any sorts of kids. She never have no man. She never have no husband. She could have made the trustee or any family member, meaning that mother and father that brought her into this world. The pastor became the most important, the most trusting person in her whole entire life in her few short years. And people, what did the pastor do to her? Him basically tell somebody, Mr. Andre Ruddock, to go over to her and bust her throats. And while in bust her throats, he was asking her, "Oh my God, can I resurrect you?" However, people, we see that did not happen. Documented in the court documents, Popo reports. The next person, Mr. Smith, Kevin Smith, your bishop. He was either the trustee. Well, the man told you in this interview, he was a trustee. Now, people, what the trustee is like a power of attorney. What it means is that all power is in the trustee's hand. So therefore, these three insurance policies, $3 million, $1 million apiece. Did you think that any of this man's two pitney was going to get any sorts of money, should in case he lost his life? However, people, again, what happened to this man on this fateful night? He was juke up, and then when he was bawling for his life, your bishop, your pastor went over to him and bust a cap in an ASS in his torso. People, think about it. Is it coincidental that of the three persons that got either injured or KILLED, 2 out of 3, and maybe if we heard the story of the next man that passed away, he would say the same thing. It is all about insurance. It is either he is the beneficiary or the trustee. So people, I say this to say that if this does not convince you enough that this man is a devil, what about the part that he uses the devil card? Because he knows that these people love God. They want eternal life. He played on their emotions. He exploited them in the name of God. So people, at the end of the day, this is what happened. This man himself so much sham, himself so much scam. He began to smell himself. He began to feel himself. He began to believe what he was selling. So therefore he OD. Him get carried away. And he started to basically thought that he was God. However, people, it would show that he is not. However, people, it would show that actual people actually believe that BS. It would show that persons are so gullible, persons are so vulnerable. People will swallow a frisbee for a little pill. So people, me just say, it was either money or the power was the motive. Persons want to be a part of some sort of group. Persons want to be around somebody that they felt was powerful, because people, they are so insecure. It makes them feel whole, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.